I posted a poll over on my community tab earlier this week asking what you wanted to see from me next here on the Vid Pro Mom channel. And this actually won by quite a bit. How to create pro looking YouTube videos. We're talking by yourself, at home, without burning through piles of cash on fancy equipment, because it really isn't about the equipment. We are talking about lighting, audio, scripting, editing, and I have a really important warning for you when it comes to using background music. My name is Meredith Marsh, and I help bloggers and content creators increase their visibility and profitability with YouTube and social video. And creating those videos is what we are talking about here today on the Vid Pro Mom YouTube channel. So if that's your jam, then buckle up, hit subscribe, and let's get started. So what makes a YouTube video look professional? There's no certificate of authority or professional license that you need to have to produce YouTube videos. You and I know that we're just kind of making it up as we go along. We're learning through this process together. Everybody is here on YouTube, right? It's kind of one of those things where you can't really explain it, but you know it when you see it, right? What we're really after here are videos where we look legit, we sound legit, and we keep viewers interested long enough to keep watching and wanting to come back for more. We will get into lighting, audio, editing, and some other stuff, but first, let's talk about the one and only thing that really matters when you're creating a YouTube video, and that is your audience. The people that will be, or you hope will be, watching your videos. If you're delivering details on a topic that people care about and you're presenting it clearly, you're giving value, you're a-okay. If people are watching your videos, which you can go to your YouTube analytics for that, if people are watching your videos and coming back for more, it doesn't really matter what your production value is. If you don't believe me, take a look at my early videos. They're dark, they're quiet, they're super awkward, but I was teaching something. I was giving value to an audience that kept coming back for more. Guys, I used an iPhone 5 not to record my videos, but to record my external audio. And I can't even believe I'm going to show you this, but what I did was I used the audio recording app on my phone. The microphone is down here, so I would tuck it into my shirt, held in place by my bra. It would be just out of sight of the camera. Is this professional? Does it actually matter? I mean, nobody even knew it was there until I just spilled the beans for you. And that brings me to audio. In my last video, I actually had a little bit of a problem with my audio. Now, I'm not a perfectionist with everything, but we do want our audio to sound good. We don't want people leaving our videos because they can't hear what we're saying, or they have to strain to hear what we're saying, or there's just something going on with the audio that's too distracting. So let me know how it sounds. I think I fixed it. Let me know in the comments. So when it comes to audio, if you're looking to up the pro level of your YouTube videos, you want to get an external microphone. So that would be a microphone that you either plug into your camera, like the one that I have, or an external microphone that either plugs into or is its own recording device. The microphone that's on your camera or inside of your camera is generally not that great for recording a more professional or polished YouTube video. And I'll show you what I mean in just a moment. We're going to compare all the microphones that I have. Another option that may work for you, and I did this in some of my early videos as well, is to use a podcasting microphone. This is the Audio-Technica ATR 2100. I've had it for about 5 years. I think it's less than $100, and I initially bought it to do my voiceovers for my tutorial videos, and I've been using it ever since. I use it for the Video Pursuit podcast, and I still use it for my voiceovers. The downside is that you have to have it right up close to your face, which means it has to be in the frame of your video. And some people may like that. Personally, I'd rather not have it in the video. I think it's a little bit distracting. So this is what it sounds like with my Rode video mic. That's the one that is plugged into my camera. It's the one that I've had this hissing problem with. So What you're hearing right now has been edited a little bit with the denoiser function in Premiere Pro. And this is what my podcasting mic sounds like. Out of everything, it probably sounds the best, but like I mentioned, I don't really want the microphone in my face the whole time. And for old time's sake, this is what it would sound like if I was still using an iPhone in my shirt. Hey, sometimes you just have to use what you have, right? And this is what it sounds like with no external microphone at all. This is the onboard microphone on my Canon 70D. By the way, a couple weeks ago, I published a tour of my YouTube studio here in my house, in my teeny tiny small basement bedroom, and I'll put a link to that down in the description or in the cards above my head, so you can check that out when we're done here. Now for lighting, I use two softbox lights. They're super inexpensive. They're both from Amazon. I bought them together, and I went into more detail on those on that studio tour that I mentioned, so you can check that out if you're curious about the exact gear that I use. But lighting can be kind of tricky to deal with at first. And personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with standing in front of a window and using your natural light. You just don't want to be in direct sunlight, because then you'll be squinting and you'll have all these harsh shadows. So some nice shady light in a room that's flooded with lots of natural light, I think, is actually not that bad. So if you're wondering about investing in an external microphone versus lighting, go with the external microphone and up the quality of your audio before you start worrying about your lights. So as far as cameras go, there's so many options out there. You could use your phone to record video. You could use your webcam if that's all you had. I use a Canon 70D DSLR. There is really no one right answer when it comes to cameras. It just needs to shoot video. You probably want it to shoot at least 1080 resolution. You want to be able to plug an external mic into it usually. If it has a flip out screen, then even better. But what you really want to focus on is the content that's inside of your videos. So once you have your camera, your audio, and your lighting figured out, you might be wondering, what do I actually say in my videos? So here's the deal. You see what other YouTube creators do, right? In this video, I had an intro, I introduced myself, I introduced the topic, I gave you a reason to keep watching. If you remember, I said I had a warning about background music, and then I got right to the point and started going into the actual content. At the end, I'll say, thanks for watching, hit subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And so what happens in between the intro and outro is actually pretty important to coming off as professional and creating a professional video for YouTube. Delivering value and connecting with your audience will do so much more for you in growing your channel than having all of the right gear. Keep in mind, like the editing process, which I'll get to in just a moment, it is a creative process. It's really different for everybody. Scripting a video does not have to be hard, but it can be a little bit daunting when you're staring at a blank screen. I actually provide 3 fill-in-the-blank scripting processes for the members of the Video Pursuit Society so that nobody has to reinvent the wheel. But you can create the same thing for yourself and reuse that same kind of script every time, just with different content. I personally like to write my script like I speak, so I'm speaking out loud, talking to myself as I am typing it out, and I have my notes in front of me on my computer screen right as I'm recording here, so I just have it all right here in front of me. Start by scripting. If you feel that you don't need it or it's just adding more things to your to-do list, then don't worry about it. Like I said, it's a creative process, so do what's going to work for you. Now, once you have recorded your video, you're probably going to have multiple video files that you're going to need to create into one video file, right? You can edit a professional looking YouTube video with pretty much any video editing software out there. Personally, I like to use Adobe Premiere Pro. iMovie is another good option. Premiere Rush is a good option as well. And on your phone or iPad, LumaFusion is a good option as well. It really doesn't matter what video editing software you use, as long as you follow these 3 things. Number 1, keep your videos snappy. You want to keep the viewer interested. So if you have a lot of ums or a lot of dead space in your videos or just weird, awkward moments, you can edit those out with pretty much any video editing software. So I like to think of this as keeping your videos snappy, keeping them moving, keeping the viewers' eyes moving, keeping them interested in what's coming next. Number 2, don't let yourself be distracted by all the bells and whistles, all the lower thirds and titles and a bunch of that crazy stuff. That can actually be very time consuming, not only to figure out how to do it in your video editing software, but to find the ones that you want to use. So I just have these lower third titles, one with my name, one with my Instagram handle. They're just little animations that come in and then go away on their own. I don't think much about them. I usually use the same ones over and over again for every video. And number 3, go easy on your background music. I use Epidemic Sound for all my background music. I've been using it for years now. I can actually get you a free code if you go to vidpromom.com/music, or I'll put a link down in the description. But I want you to be careful about 2 things specifically when it comes to background music. Number 1, the music is really there to enhance your message, not take over the entire video. So make sure you lower that background music. When in doubt, lower it even a little bit more, because it can be easily distracting and you don't want the viewer to have to strain to try and hear what you're trying to say. And the second thing is, please only use royalty-free background music. That's background music that the copyright holder has given you permission to use in your video in the form of a license. This is why I love Epidemic Sound. I've never had a problem with copyright issues. And if you haven't tried Epidemic Sound yet for your YouTube videos, let me hook you up with a free trial. If you just go to vidpromom.com/music, that's my affiliate link, and you can try it free for 30 days. And like I said, this is a creative process. You and I are just figuring things out as we go. So that's why it's important to just keep going, even if you don't feel like you're quite professional enough. Getting better is only going to happen if you keep going. And if your roadblock right now with creating professional looking YouTube videos is video editing, then you should grab my social video blueprint guide to creating and editing videos for YouTube and social media. I'll put a link down in the description to that. And if you wanted to see my YouTube setup here at home with my lights, my mic, my camera, and everything, you can check out that video now, and I'll see you there.